If you are wondering how to maintain good mental health during the holidays, then you are in the right place. This video is part of a series on mental health during the holidays. The holiday season is marketed to us, showing us that it's full of joy and excitement, but for many people, it's also one of the hardest times of the year. The expectations, the family dynamics, the travel, the pressure to feel festive, it can all build up fast. Even people who don't normally struggle with mental health can find themselves feeling anxious, irritable, or completely drained. As a certified corporate wellness specialist and a person with lived experience, I get questions about mental health during the holidays every single year at the start of the holiday season, and it makes sense. This is the busiest travel season of the year and one of the most emotionally demanding. According to the American Psychological Association, a survey found that 89% of US adults say they feel stressed during the holiday season, and 41% say their stress levels are higher than usual. The National Alliance on Mental Illness, also known as NAMI, reports that 64% of individuals living with a mental health disorder say their condition worsens during the holiday season. LifeStance Health shared its 2025 Holiday Mental Health Report, which showed that 57% of respondents find the holiday season stressful, 51% report feeling lonely even when with loved ones, and 69% feel pressure to appear happier than they really are. So, if you've been feeling like you're supposed to be merry and bright, but instead you're tense, anxious, or just trying to make it through, you're not alone, and you're not broken. This time of the year can be tough for anyone. That's why in this video, I'm going to share 3 simple strategies to stay sane during the holidays. Tools you can actually use to protect your mental health, reduce stress, and stay grounded. But before we go any further, if your mental health has you thinking about harming yourself or anyone else, please don't face that alone. Talk to a mental health professional. I've included links in the description to affordable therapy resources that can help you if you don't have access to a therapist or counselor. And you can always reach out to your local suicide prevention hotline. Someone is available 24/7 to listen to you. Your life and peace of mind are worth far more than anything involving this holiday season. If you want to go from surviving the holiday season to navigating the holidays and maybe even thriving, keep watching. Hi, my name is Mike Veny. I'm a certified corporate wellness specialist, and I have a lifetime of lived experience with mental health challenges. Number 1, have realistic expectations. Here's what my friend and licensed clinical psychologist, Dr. Mallory Malkin, had to say about having realistic expectations.
Things are never going to go as planned. You can set all the wonderful expectations you want, but if they're unrealistic and you're trying to create this perfect hallmark memory, it's not going to happen. Those are movies, and we all want that. It would be beautiful, but that's just not real life, and you've got to kind of be okay with your own version of Hallmark, the reality series version of Hallmark.
I grew up with Christmas movies and shows, and they would always paint this picture of the perfect family, and everyone would end up together for the holidays. It was so beautiful. I thought that's how it should be.
Yeah, everyone's problems and woes get resolved in a beautiful hour and a half, and there's comedy and love and dancing and food. Yeah, no, it doesn't. And if it did, I think there'd be a lot more people that were less stressed during the holidays, because it's just, I think expectations is a huge thing.
Here's an action step for you. Write down 3 holiday expectations. Mark which are realistic versus idealized. Replace the unrealistic ones with compassionate, achievable alternatives. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, there's a free meditation resource that you can use to calm yourself down in less than 3 minutes by clicking the link in the description. Number 2, set boundaries. Here's what Dr. Malkin had to say about setting boundaries.
And then boundaries is another really big thing in terms of why the holidays can sometimes go off kilter for folks. There's a really great saying, and I don't know who to attribute it to, but it is, oh goodness, say yes to what matters and no to what drains you. And that's kind of a good mantra to have during the holidays that I say to myself. as I've gotten older and I have children and you've got multiple different priorities, you're not going to please everyone, and you've got to be okay with that. And it's a balance and a dance of boundaries and maintaining those.
Say yes to what matters and no to what drains you. I love that. Learning to say no isn't easy. Here's some guidance on how to do it from my course, Fill Your Cup, the Exhausted Educator's Guide to Emotional Wellness.
You have permission to say no. Many times we want to say no, but we end up saying yes and then being resentful of what we said yes to. If you have trouble saying no, try using the 3-step sandwich approach from William Urey's book, The Power of a Positive No. First, say yes to what your core value is. Second, say no in a calm, neutral way. Third, say yes to offer a positive alternative or gesture of respect. As an example, let's say the principal approaches you and asks you to sponsor a community service club. You're torn because you don't want to let the principal down, but you also have way too much on your plate this year. Here's what you could say. Thank you for offering me that opportunity. Because I need to focus on putting my students' needs first, I won't be able to take on a club this year with all my other responsibilities. Once you identify the club's sponsor, I'd be happy to provide occasional support to help them when I can.
Here's an action step for you. Identify one boundary to set this week. An example might be limiting social media, declining one draining event, setting a clear leaving time for a certain gathering. Number 3, be proactive about coping with grief. If you've experienced a loss, my heart goes out to you. Grief sucks. Grief can show up in unexpected ways: sadness, irritability, fatigue, numbness, and can hit harder around the holidays. I mean, holiday traditions, music, and gatherings, they can all trigger memories of loved ones who are no longer here. Social media often adds pressure to feel merry, which can make grief feel even heavier. Ignoring grief or pretending to be fine only deepens the pain in isolation. But I want to share a secret with you, a secret that you might not know about grief. When you learn to work with grief, it actually leads to joy. And here's a tip: learn to feel your feelings. But how do you go from grieving to feeling joy? Watch the next video on how to cope with grief during the holidays. If you liked this video, click that like button. Be sure to subscribe, and please share this with anyone who's having a tough time during the holidays. Click on the screen and check out that video on how to cope with grief during the holidays, and I'll see you in the next video.